Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump? All of you. I find it interesting that she keeps going after President Trump, the greatest president in American history. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
Well, I'm laughing because you're a clown. And same with the rest of the United States administration. I'm not sure if you caught it, but Pam Bondi totally embarrassed herself last night. And it really displayed the problems with the United States government. The gaslighting, the insults, not being able to answer a simple question, and turning something where she's supposed to be answering the questions into an interrogation on the person who's asking the question. It's messed up. Like this whole thing felt like a Saturday Night Live skit. But unfortunately, it's been normalized on how incompetent this US administration is. Speaking of incompetent, I found this on Twitter. And yeah, I do still go on Twitter, mainly to see how much of a gong show it is still over there. But hell, it helped me find this gem right here. Now, you guys might have heard that they closed down the El Paso airspace or whatever, guys. I guess they had like a threat or something. But this says, new US military shot down what believed to be a foreign drone near El Paso this week, but it turned out to be a party balloon. Like, what the hell? The greatest military in the world could not figure out that it was a party balloon? I mean, you should have saw Twitter when it was announced. Conspiracy theories everywhere. Mexico, Cuba, any other country sending in drones. We're under attack. All the immigrants are terrorists. When in fact, it was probably just a 5-year-old kid who lost his balloon. But given what we just heard from Pam Bondi, and also the reputation of the rest of the US administration, I just think they're going to keep digging themselves in the hole. But I'm also just glad that I'm on this side of the fence, along with our other allied nations. But there was some positive that came out of Washington. You can see from this headline here, 6 House Republicans defied Trump to block his Canada tariffs. Now, it might sound like a step in the right direction, and I have to emphasize it's just one step. But I personally don't believe that this is going to go anywhere. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything. But ultimately, the Orange McNugget, I believe, still has the last say. But I have a report from CBC, and they're going to explain to us Canadians what's actually going on, and what are the delay tactics that they're actually using. Now, before I get started, if you're new to my channel, and you want to hear more from a Canadian perspective, make sure you hit the subscribe button below, as I do try to post out daily videos. Also, stick around, because I do have a video from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, who think that everything is going to get better for them once the weather gets warmer, I guess. Also, another report on the Toronto Blue Jays. And their spring training is starting, and Tampa Bay seems to think that everyone's going to come back. Oh, I also want to show you this ignorant US citizen, who thinks Canada only has warm weather for like 1 month of the year. So I'll show this report to you guys later. Alright, let's get to the first report from CBC.
So US politics can be difficult to understand, with archaic rules and procedures used to get or block outcomes. And when it comes to tariffs, Republican leaders have been trying to make it difficult to bring votes to the floor to end Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and beyond. Ordinarily, when a president declares an emergency, lawmakers have 15 days to vote on it to try and overrule it. But for the better part of a year, House Republicans have been manipulating the legislative calendar, making one day last for months, effectively nullifying its own authority.
You know, with stunts like what we saw with Pam Bondi earlier, and the House bending the rules, it's no wonder nothing is getting done in the United States. But this is just my opinion as like a totally unqualified person. But I think the only way that things are going to get fixed is if some of the Republicans start to change their mind. We got 6 Republicans defying the Orange McNugget right now, but we definitely need a lot more in order for anything to change.
On Tuesday, that strategy fell apart when an attempt to make February 10th to July 31st one single day and ban any votes on tariffs, 4 Republicans defected.
President Trump was very disappointed that a few members of the House that are in utter denial about the positive effects of President Trump's policies.
Several votes are now expected in the run-up to midterms, forcing Republicans to choose between loyalty to President Trump or a policy their voters might be against. And while Trump would likely veto anything that overrides his tariffs, those on the outside are simply left looking in.
And that's why I said earlier, I don't have much hope in it. Because the Orange McNugget can always veto it. Or make up some excuse to not, I don't know, proceed with it or something like that. But for us looking outside into the United States, at least for me personally, I don't see anything that's going to be changing anytime soon. Which is why I think this is a great opportunity for Canada to start exploring elsewhere. And we have to.
We have been clear. This government will always defend Canadian workers and industry when they face unfair and unjustified tariffs.
Now, while the Canadian government works to make do with the situation out of its control, it is facing another hurdle. According to Bloomberg, Donald Trump is weighing a potential exit of CUSMA, saying the pact, which covers about $2 trillion in goods and services, isn't in America's best interest anymore. All three nations would need to agree to renewal this year to keep it in place. Otherwise, annual reviews will begin with any leader able to pull out with 6 months' notice.
Now, I think the Orange McNugget is already going to cancel out of it. So I think Canada and even Mexico should already be planning that it's not going to happen. If it does, great. But then my question is, even if it does happen, do we still want to keep dealing with the fact that he's still going to threaten us, threaten to remove it or, pull out of it or whatever else? There's no stability with this guy. I know I'm kind of struggling to get what's in my head right now out on the mic, but if you guys understand what I mean, and you agree with me that the stability is gone with the United States, let me know in the comments below. Now, this next one was sent to me by one of our Blue Sky viewers, and it comes out of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. And they believe that once the weather warms up, that I guess things will go back to normal. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have a lot to say about that. I'm really curious to see what people in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario think about this. All right, let me just start the video.
Some of our big boxes are not as busy as they've been in the past, but they still have good traffic counts, but not as well as they had.
The border community of Sault Ste. Marie is home to one of Michigan's 4 international land crossings. Data from U.S. Customs and Border Protection shows that in 2025, less than 500,000 travelers entered Sault Ste. Marie from Canada. That's more than 100,000 less than 2024's total. Sault Ste. Marie Chamber of Commerce Director Tony Haller says he expects travel to pick up in the warmer months as usual, but there could still be some challenges.
Right now, the traffic is down from a Canadian standpoint, but in the area, because of the weather, we've got a lot of snowmobilers in the area taking advantage of the winter up here. There's been a lot of things to do in our area. It's just that our Canadian count has been down, but hopefully, things will get straightened out where they'll, come back and support our local economy.
Now, I want to ask anybody that lives north of the border in this photo, in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Are you guys going to be visiting Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan once the weather gets better? Are you going to support their economy? I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to that. But what I'm trying to point out here is the false hopes that these guys still have. And it seems like any Chamber of Commerce guy is really about the money. I mean, they are a Chamber of Commerce. But what they don't understand is that it's not about the weather, it's not about the economy, or whatever bullshit that they keep trying to say. It's about the fact that most of Sault Ste. Marie actually voted for the orange guy. You can see from this map right here. This is actually one of my new favorite websites because I've been OCDing on going to different locations in the United States and seeing what regions voted for what. You can see here, just across the bridge, they are definitely more conservative. So if I was living on the Canada side, there would be no chance in hell that I would be supporting any business over there or their economy.
The peak travel month of August, about 15,000 fewer travelers entered Sault Ste. Marie from Canada in 2025, a drop of nearly a quarter from the same month in 2024.
We just are pretty steady in what we do, and we anticipate that that'll be the same going forward. But you never know, that could change. But as of now, we just hope that our friends and neighbors in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario will come over to Sault, Michigan and take advantage of what we have.
Now, I do believe I have some viewers from Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. And I'm going to say this for you. No chance in hell we're coming back.
Also says despite the reduced number of crossings, communities on either side of the border don't seem to be totally shutting out their international neighbors.
I haven't seen or heard of people just, not getting along. I think we're kind of in a unique area where people are just happy to take Americans going to Sault, Ontario, and vice versa. I think in our area, anyway, we have a good relationship with our friends and neighbors in Sault, Ontario, and hopefully that'll continue.
Now, I really want to hear from our viewers from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. What's your thoughts on this? Because maybe I'm jaded, maybe I'm reading this wrong, or maybe I have too much anger towards the US. But they are really neglecting the fact on why their neighbors, just to the north, are not coming down to the United States. I'm getting that vibe of put politics aside and we're still friends kind of thing. But unfortunately, in these days, there's no way to put politics aside from what's going on right now. At least that's in my opinion. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me. Now, this last report comes out of Tampa Bay, where the Toronto Blue Jays are now having their spring training. And it seems like they're expecting a whole shitload of people to come down. Let's take a look.
Tonight, the Toronto Blue Jays are back in Tampa Bay, fresh off a World Series appearance. Just hours ago, pitchers and catchers had their first spring training workout in Dunedin. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Angelicia Bruton talked to fans at the ballpark, ready for these games to begin.
The Toronto Blue Jays are back in town, and with that comes a lot of excitement for their fans and a lot of money to the Tampa Bay area.
Come on, bro. Oh, we're so back.
It was, I would say, a miraculous year. It was 2 outs away from being perfect.
This is the Blue Jays' 50th season.
I moved here for the Blue Jays. I'm a crazy Blue Jay fan.
Jerry Rude says he's been a Blue Jays fan since 1977.
Last year was the first year we became season ticket holders for spring training, and we're season ticket holders again this year.
He says you don't even have to like or even understand baseball to enjoy watching the team play here at TD Ballpark.
We made a lot of friends with the people in our section. Our Canadian friends are from Saskatchewan or Saskatchewan or something. I can't even pronounce these things. All I know is it's so cold there, I will never visit except for maybe that weekend that they call summer, like in July.
Now, I know a lot of people in my comments are saying that, GTL, you got to be more professional, or you got to keep the cursing to a minimum, or don't swear at all. It's not very professional of you. Well, if you want a professional video, go watch CBC or CTV or something like that. Because this guy here is going to make me bring out the F-bomb. So go fuck off with your ignorance. And if you actually cared about anything besides sports, or if you cared about your neighbors, you would know that there's more than one weekend of summer in Canada. I'm just really sick and tired of this. I don't know why this triggered me. I've met US citizens who always ask, oh, do you own a snowmobile? Or do you live in an igloo? It's like, fuck these guys. My yelling woke up the cat. Co-host number 2 that is usually quiet just woke up. I guess because I was yelling. But this is a prime example of why my boycott keeps getting refilled. Because ignorant US citizens like this are the ones that are pushing me away from your country. Well, that and your stupid US government. I apologize for the rant. I kind of got fired up on this one. I don't know what triggered me.
Some fans are in from Canada, trading in snow boots for flip-flops, at least for a few weeks.
We came from Stratford, Ontario.
Luke LaGrange says this is his first time visiting Dunedin.
Actually, we parked our car downtown and we just walked all the way up here, and it's a nice walk. Then, we'll stop downtown and probably go on a patio, have a couple of drinks.
Dunedin's mayor announces that the city is going blue to welcome fans and visitors to TD Ballpark and the entire community.
So it's great for our businesses. Overall, we do a economic analysis every year. Last year it was worth $200 million impact last year for the whole community.
Now, I don't follow baseball very much, but I would assume that the spring training last year was right around this time. And right around this time last year was when the Orange McNugget was just getting to the office and things were still somewhat okay between our two countries. So I imagine there would have been a lot of Canadians that still went last year. But I think this year's going to be a different story. And you're going to notice they have not mentioned anything at all when it comes to Canadian boycotts. So I get the impression that they think everything is going to be normal. Now, sure, they'll get the domestic tourists, but we all know the international tourists do spend more and they stay longer.
So not just Dunedin, but the wider community.
And I think on Wednesdays, it's $2 tickets, $2 beers, $2 hot dogs, $2 popcorn. And my wife and I can come down here and get looped for $10.
Angelicia Bruton, 10 Tampa Bay News.
So what's your thoughts? Do you think there will be as many Canadians as last year? Or did you know anyone that went last year that is not going this year? Let us know in the comments below. Now, this was supposed to be a shorter video because you can see I didn't use the typical backgrounds from one of the community members. But I really just wanted to get this video quickly to get these topics out. But I do want to take this time now because I think most of the people that don't follow my channel on a regular basis probably dropped off by now. But if you're still listening up until this point, I really want to thank everybody for their congratulations when it came to being mentioned in Parliament. I'm going to say it again, it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm happy for it. But I am more happy that 17,000 Canadians did take the time to actually help Jessica with the petition. I'll be honest, I'm not here for the clicks or the recognition or anything like that. Sure, views are nice, but it actually feels good to get if I say it correctly, it actually feels good to vent about what we're all going through. We're all in the same boat here, and we're all experiencing the same mess that's caused by the neighbors to the south. So again, I do want to thank everybody, but I also do want to thank the community for rallying together to help Jessica and the future petitions going out as well. Now, one thing before I close off, I had a couple emails from the community asking, hey, GTL, I noticed you're pushing out 2 videos a day now. And they're basically saying, please don't burn yourself out. I'll be honest, ever since I went script free and I'm speaking freely right now, and I'm getting over my fear of making mistakes when I speak. The production time of my videos is actually shortened significantly. Before, when I was writing scripts and reading out, it would probably take me about maybe 3-4 hours to create a video. And most of that time is me correcting myself, saying one sentence over and over and over like 5 times until I feel is right. But now, I have no scripts. I'm just kind of speaking like how I speak on a live stream or when I'm doing an interview. And that has cut down the time to maybe an hour, hour and a half for me to create a video. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that, hey, I'm fine, I'm good. And to be honest, when I'm speaking now, it's just whatever I'm thinking. And it probably sounds more natural. But at the same time as well, it does allow me to create more videos. And that's what I want to do. And sometimes I can't put all the topics into one video. I know most content creators don't even mention this stuff in their videos, but I'm being vulnerable right now and I'm just sharing what I'm feeling. And I do appreciate everyone looking out for me. Okay, that's all I got for today's video. It was supposed to be a short one, but it turns out it's as long as my usual videos. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian perspective, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button below. And I do try to get daily videos out, maybe even twice a day. Thanks everyone. I'll catch you in the next one.